Well, good morning, everyone. It's Labor Day, and I hope you have plans to relax and recharge if possible. I know that not everyone has the day off, but if you do, spend some extra time with the Lord if possible, and really fortify for the coming week. Today, we're going to look at one of the ways that God provides for his people. You're going to find yourself pretty amazed by this situation if you've never heard of it before. It's in 1 Kings chapter number 17. And God doesn't always provide this way, but I want you to have your imagination challenged a little bit here, or expanded, because God can provide any way he chooses to. He is that powerful, and he is that loving and caring. There's a couple of provisions in here, as we'll read about. You have to do what he tells you to do. You have to be living by his pattern, or he won't be able to provide. You have to be where he's told you to be, or he won't provide. The circumstances are Elijah has just told King Ahab, there's never going to be any rain until I say so. From this day forward, there won't be even dew. It's going to be not only a drought of rain, it's going to be a drought of moisture. It's going to be bad. And until I say otherwise, that's the way it's going to be. And then God tells him, flee, go to the brook Cherith, and I'll provide for you there. Well, he provided for him there for a little while, and then the brook Cherith would obviously dry up without rain. And so Elijah had to trust the Lord to go to another town for his provision. And he goes to Zarephath, which we'll read about, where there's going to be a widow there prepared to take care of him. Now, what's interesting as I read this, you're going to say, what do you mean prepared to take care of him? Well, God was prepared to take care of him there, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what you see, it doesn't matter what you think. If you will do what God tells you to do, he will provide for you where he says he'll provide for you. So let me just dive in verse number 8. I'm going to read out through verse number 16, and you pay attention to any cues that you hear there. And it says, and the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, arise and get thee to Zarephath, which belongs to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. So he arose and went to Zarephath, and when he came to the gate of the city, behold, the widow woman was there gathering sticks, and he called to her, and said, fetch me, I pray thee. That's a courtesy. He says, would you please get for me a little water, I pray thee, a little water in a vessel that I may drink. And she was going to fetch it. He called to her, and bring me, I pray thee, a morsel of bread in thine hand. And she said, as the Lord thy God liveth, I have not a cake, but a handful of meal in a barrel, and a little oil in a cruse. And behold, I am gathering 2 sticks that I may go in and dress it for me and my son, that we may eat it and die. And Elijah said unto her, fear not, go and do as thou hast said, but make me thereof a little cake first, and bring it unto me. And after make for thee and thy son. For thus saith the Lord God of Israel, the barrel of meal shall not waste, neither shall the cruse of oil fail, until the day that the Lord sendeth rain upon the earth. And she went and did according to the saying of Elijah, and she and he and her house did eat many days, and the barrel of the meal wasted not, neither did the cruse of oil fail, according to the word of the Lord, which he had spake by Elijah. And so listen, there's 2 people being provided for here, or two separate provisions here. The woman had water, but she didn't have food, and she knew that the water was going to fail soon too. But Elijah said, would you get me a glass of water? She said, okay, I'll get you a glass of water. He said, well, get me some food too. And she said, okay, I'll get you food, but just know this, that the food you're eating is the food that I was going to put in my mouth and my son's mouth before we die. We're out of food. And he says, trust me, God will take care of you if you give me a cake first. So there's that provision. Elijah promises that if she gives up her last meal to him, that he promises God will provide for her. Totally against what we would think. So the woman and her son are going to be provided for, and Elijah is going to be provided for, provided that they both obey the word of the Lord. Okay, so Elijah had to go there, and when he realizes that she's in need, he has to obey the Lord and ask for the food. She has to obey the Lord by listening to Elijah that God will provide the food. And so I don't know what your circumstance is. I don't know what you're going through, whether it's a financial challenge or there it really is, the cupboards are getting bare and we don't know where it's going to come from, or you need some other kind of provision. My encouragement to you today is walk with God, obey Him, ask Him for the provision, and then let the Lord bring that provision to you. Most people want the provision but aren't interested in the obedience part. And so I want to encourage you, provision is contingent on obedience. And so make sure that you're walking with God in the best way you know how, searching the scriptures diligently daily for any clues that God might give you on what you ought to do, where you ought to be. A lot of people are not where they're supposed to be, so their provision is not where they are. And so we need to ask ourselves, am I actually doing what God's asked me to do, or am I doing my own thing and then asking Him to provide? If you get that straight, God will provide. I don't know how He's going to do it. I don't know when He's going to do it, but trust the Lord, He will provide. And I hope that's an encouragement to you this morning, and I hope that you have a really blessed Labor Day.